For so many people growing up, Shonen was the ambassador to anime. Flashy powers, hype battles, and having the guts to never give up. This is what little boys' dreams are made of. Oh god, that sounded weird. Little boys? Why does I gotta say it like that? Anyways, kids eat this shit up, and really so does anyone whose brain is smooth enough. As long as there's flashing lights and dudes punching each other, someone's going to watch it. That's why you see so many mediocre and dog shit anime become so popular. Fairy Tail, Black Clover, Seven Deadly Sins. I don't even know which one of these is which. Maybe I could have given them more of a chance, but these medieval magic anime are so samey to me, I can barely tell them apart. In this genre, home to monoliths like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, you gotta be doing something really special to stand out. You gotta have character. But even then, it takes more than being visually interesting to be great. I love Soul Eater. It's fun and aesthetically it kicks ass. The environments have this dark yet cartoonish look, it's eerie, and the character designs are phenomenal. And it's a lot more than I can say about a lot of other shonen out there, but when I look beneath the surface, is there anything really of substance there? No, there's not. And at this point you may be thinking to yourself, holy shit, is this guy ever going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen? The story centers on Yuji Itadori, inhumanly strong, nice bod, and dumb as a fucking rock. He's your classic himbo. His grandpa is on his deathbed, and Yuji is the only one who ever comes to visit him. And not wanting his grandson to become like him, he urges Yuji to use his gorilla strength and his pea brain to help others. And when his naive friends play around with a cursed mummy finger, they find themselves in a dire situation, about to be devoured by cursed spirits, which Yuji ultimately bails them out of by eating the finger. Now this would kill a normal human, but thanks to a 1 in a million chance and the fact that he's the main character, he is now possessed by Ryomen Sukuna, the cursed spirit inhabiting the finger, which also happens to be the strongest curse of them all. Now there's nothing that original about a main character borrowing power from a malevolent force and using it for good. I've seen that countless times. But what makes this unique is that Yuji has no control over Sukuna, so the price he pays for relying on him is often very steep. And I'm not talking about just getting angry and having a cute girl come calm him down. I'm talking about actual consequences. This is a slight, vague spoiler for the manga, but in all the instances so far in which Sukuna has taken over, things have never ended well, and in some cases it has ruined everything. You see this in the very first episode. After he eats the finger, Sukuna takes over and destroys the curses threatening them, but when Yuji comes to, he has an ultimatum forced on him. Be executed now, or find and consume the other 19 fingers of Sukuna and then be executed. Which is also a very interesting goal for the main character to have, and is a part of what makes Jujutsu Kaisen stand out. The goal is so important to Shonen, it's what drives the main character to never give up, to not back down no matter how much it hurts, and too often that goal was simply to be the best. Which isn't inherently bad. A story with a simple goal can obviously still have great themes and an engaging narrative. Like I've been rereading part 1 Naruto, before it turned to dog dick and became a manga about wizards fighting aliens, and it's so good, like so good. But the goal itself isn't very interesting. There are so many moving moments that happen on the way to that goal, but never once do you ask yourself questions about what will happen in the end, or even how he will get there. And even though that's not necessary for a story to be great, some of my all-time favorite shonen had me asking questions along the way. Will Alphonse ever know what it feels like to get some top? Why did Jing travel hundreds of thousands of miles just to get some milk? How bad are Yuji's shits after eating one of these fingers? These are the questions that these anime bring out of the viewer. No, but seriously, there are a lot of moving parts surrounding Yuji's goal. There's dissension between the Sorcerer Society on whether Yuji is an ally or a threat, and his collecting the fingers benefits the antagonists as well. And every time he gets a finger, Sukuna grows stronger. Not Yuji, just Sukuna. Is Yuji playing right into the villain's hands? Is he going to get all the fingers and just die? Will he even be able to hold back Sukuna by that point? But what's way more important than the goal being intriguing is the fact that his goals connect back to his personal and meaningful motivations. Yuji is doing this to honor his grandfather's dying wish and help people in a way that only he can. I love these characters, and obviously I'm not alone. People are going crazy for this anime, and I'm probably the last guy on YouTube to talk about it because I'm a lazy piece of shit. But much like humor, the appeal of characters is incredibly subjective. Maybe you're a fan of that typical garbage anime humor where characters are super loud and have no idea how to behave socially, or that whole, oops, I slipped and now my dick is between this woman's breast thing. But me, my humor is a bit more highbrow. I like dick jokes. But the most important thing about these characters is the fact that they're three-dimensional. It's clear that Gege Akutami really put a lot of thought into not just how these characters will interact with each other socially, but also their motivations for why they want to be sorcerers. In the second episode, the principal of Jujutsu Tech points out that this is an awful job, and the story backs it up with these horrific things that happen to people at the hands of curses. So in order to justify why someone would want to go through with it, several characters have very impactful reasons for why they chose to be sorcerers. Even the less serious reasons are backed up by something heartfelt. And this is one of my favorite aspects of the show, but Jujutsu Kaisen goes even further by challenging Yuji and Megami's goals just like it does their fighting abilities. From as early as episode 2, Yuji is forced to reevaluate his reasoning for why he feels he needs to go through with this journey. There are very few shonen out there where I'm this invested in this many of the supporting characters, and that's thanks to how thought out they are and how much was put into giving them charm, wit, and meaningful backstories. Mappa knocked it out of the park. The choreography is on point, the effects look insane, and the way they move the camera in these specific moments gives it this insane three-dimensional feel. But what really matters is the power system. There are plenty of non-shonen anime out there with beautiful, fluid fights, but this is something that is unique to shonen. If goals and aspirations are the soul of a shonen, then the power system is the heart, pumping blood through everything. And for me, this is a make or break thing. I'm not a fucking baby anymore. You can't just have two dudes screaming and throwing energy at each other. It's gotta have structure, and it doesn't necessarily need to be complex, but it's just gotta be consistent and concise. And so far, Jujutsu Kaisen is. No one has won a battle because of friendship power or pulled anything too unbelievable out of their asses, but it also does have that complexity. It's really reminiscent of Hunter x Hunter. It doesn't have the RPG-like classes, but the way characters infuse specific body parts with cursed energy for defense, offense, or to fake someone out is very much like Nen. And a lot of the curse techniques people come up with have conditions placed on them that restricts their uses or gives them weak points in order to gain greater power. It's all about trade-offs, and while Hunter x Hunter is obviously the biggest inspiration for that, it is by no means ripping it off. There are so many unique powers here that I have never seen anything like, and on top of it all, there's the domain expansions. And just because I hope that someone out there watching this video hasn't seen the anime yet and I'm not just sitting here preaching to the choir, I'm not going to spoil the details about them, but long story short, it's the most unique thing about the power system. A good premise, deep characters, a story that subverts your expectations, a complex power system that gives you hype, strategic battles, these are all things that make Jujutsu Kaisen stand out as a great shonen. And its ability to balance comedy, horror, and action on a needle gives it character that makes it a shonen all its own. There's no telling whether it will end up as one of the greats, but if the manga continues at this pace and Gege Akutami is able to stay on their desired track for the series, then it looks like it may just get there.